I hope you've been following along, but before we pick up from where we left off, I want to touch on one thing from the last video. I said the only difference I could find between the modern age reprint of Action Comics #1 and the brand new golden age reprint of Action Comics #1 was a little extension of the top and the added things. Well, am I blind? They cut the sides of the art off. Look, full artwork. That's something we've never seen. So check it out. When they cropped it on this side, they went ahead and just colored out these rocks so that they wouldn't be cut off. And over here, they completely chopped him. Not only that, it's cropped up from the bottom as well. They wouldn't need to extend the top if they had just left it far down below. That's interesting. Little bit of color change inside the car, and even this interesting shading bit here. But I want to show you something else. To secure the rights to the name Action Comics #1, they of course put out an ash can. And they did it way back in 1937. And here is the cover of it. This was unused artwork that was intended to be used as the cover for Detective Comics issue 2. And it was so early on, they hadn't had the Superman story yet inside. So it's just the other stories that were in Action Comics #1. But once they had that Superman story, they knew who to put on the cover. And that brings us to where we left off, because as you can see, Action Comics #7 is the first time we have Superman returning to the cover since issue 1. So we have a cover date of December of 1938, but it was most likely on shelves several months earlier, because that's how these things go. But either way, Superman ends the year as being the only super-powered comic book character of all of 1938. Now, we still have Jerry Siegel writing every issue, but Joe Shuster only draws the cover because inside we have art for the first time by Wayne Boring. Though he's uncredited, it still says Joe Shuster. Now, this is very early on because Wayne Boring wasn't hired as staff artist until 1942. And that's when he began being ghost artist for Joe Shuster on the Superman Daily newspaper strip. Siegel and Shuster wouldn't quit DC Comics until 1948, and that's when Wayne Boring became the primary penciler of Superman comics, and on throughout the 1950s as the George Reeves TV show was airing on television. Wayne Boring would be replaced by Curt Swan as the Superman artist of the 1960s, and he would be fired in 1967. He would die in 1987, Joe Shuster died in 1992, and Jerry Siegel died in 1996. So now let's get to the story. As you can see, Superman has yellow boots, and he will keep these yellow boots through the entire issue. So in the office of the Daily Star, you have this schmuck named Curly who's talking a lot of smack about Clark. And Clark walks in and he starts messing with him. "Oh, your tie's hanging out, Clark. Look at that. Your tie's hanging out." Nobody thinks it's funny. They're like, lay off the poor guy. "Oh, your tie's hanging out." It's even annoying to Lois. So she rescues Clark, says the boss wants to see him. And in fact, he actually does. He brings Clark in, says, "Here's an assignment. Go to the circus. There's stuff going on." Clark goes out there and he overhears this hood basically telling him, "You're gonna start paying us dues or else we're gonna keep the crowds away and you're gonna lose all your money." And boy, the circus owner's in tears. That's when Clark comes in. He plays dumb. He gets the normal publicity statement for the circus, and then he walks away and says, "Boy, that guy's pretty brave. He's acting like nothing's going on, but something really is." And the circus begins, but there's no crowds. Clark's out there and he says, "You know what? I gotta do something about this." And that's it. He becomes Superman of the yellow boots. And he pays the circus owner a visit. But being so early on in Superman's career, the circus owner doesn't know who he is. He just thinks he's a common criminal. Holds him at gunpoint. Superman just snatches the gun away and crushes it in his bare hands. Says, "I want to be your new strongman." Because I got a circus strongman. He can bend iron. He can lift metal balls. Superman says, "Step outside. Look at this. I can lift up the wagon. I can smash it to pieces. I can kick it into orbit with my yellow boots." "Superman, you're a jerk." That's when he reveals, "You ever hear of Superman?" "Did I? Is that who you are?" "In person." "Superman working for me? oh, baby, I'm dreaming. This is too good to be true. So he knows who Superman is. Boom, advertises it, and the hoods say, no, 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 hey, that's against our plans. And Lois is like, whoa, a man, here I come. And now it's time for Superman's debut at the circus, and the crowds have really shown up. So they're putting on the regular act, but everyone's screaming, we want Superman, bring him out, come on. The heck, they don't even care about this dude, and he's pretty strong. What a jip, we want our money back. And here comes Mr. Yellow Boots himself. Somersaults down from the trapeze, tosses the weights and the strong man around. The crowds love it, and he picks up an elephant. Another reference to a drunk guy seeing pink elephants. Didn't we see that in an earlier video? The hoods don't like it. Lois can't get in to see Superman. She sneaks in. The hood catches her. The circus watchdog goes to investigate and gets kicked into unconsciousness. Lois is knocked out as well. So the lowly hood takes her to the boss, and he says, great, now she's seen all our faces. We're gonna have to get rid of her. Unleash the lion. That'll create a distraction, but Yellow Boots Superman is right on it. Takes the lion out no problem, saves the pretty girl, saves the tent, goes after the hood, but he ain't speaking. Couple of tosses in the air and he spills his guts. Yellow Boots runs so fast his trunks turn yellow, but now they're back to red. Bullets bounce off Superman, and before Lois can thank her savior, he runs off. Some other time, babe. And back to the Daily Star. Your tie's out, Clark. Clark's had it. Walks out the door, reaches back in, and rips the dude's clothes clean off his body. Why, Curly, you're undressed. Titch, titch. Until next time.